Hello and welcome to Horizons. I'm your host, Don Moore. This is a public affairs program of Ohio University's Southern Campus. It's being produced by the students in the electronic media program at the Southern Campus. Well, this is a special month. I'm sporting my red tie. It's Heart Health Month. And today we have a guest with us that's going to be talking a little bit about that, but also talking about an organization here in town that reaches out to the whole community. But before we do that, let's go over to the news set and let's find out what's going on around the Southern Campus.
Thanks, Don. Ohio Southern hosted a Tax Tips for Businesses workshop, and Ryan has the story.
Does anybody know why that law expired?
A new workforce development event took place in OUS classrooms this past Tuesday. The focus of February's monthly seminar was on tax season and how business taxes could affect local business owners. The presentation centered around the history of taxes and how to properly file as a business rather than an individual. For those interested in attending future events, workforce development events are hosted by Ohio University Southern on the second Tuesday of every month.
This was part of Ohio Southern's Workforce Success. You can contact Sarah Diamond Burraway for more information. Chelsea Howe brought her photography to the Dingus Art Gallery, and Adam Holsinger has the story.
What got me into photography, oddly, was 1950s pinup culture. I got really into that as a teenager and just setting up these cute, nice little scenes and having control over just making something pretty. And then that led down a completely different path. But that's actually what got me started in it. Sometimes I'll get an idea and I'll write it down or I'll sketch it out, and I have all these sketchbooks full of ideas that I'll just get randomly and write down. But a lot of pieces that I ended up liking the most kind of were spontaneous. It was me and some of my friends that are artists get together and say, let's make something. So we get people together and props and costumes and makeup, and then we would just see where it went. It's like playing. I love the entire event of making a picture, because there's more than just taking a picture and setting up the lighting. And when I create a piece of work, I have to pick up the right costumes and the right props, and if someone has makeup on, do the makeup. And then when you start shooting, just rolls and rolls and rolls from there. And you just, the whole process is so fun, entertaining, and then you end up with all these pictures, and it's just satisfying, I guess, to see this all-day event and then this thing that came out of it.
Chelsea is a graduate of Ohio University Southern, and you can find events like hers and more on our Facebook page. Ohio University Southern also wants you to love yourself, and here's Ryan with that story.
Southern Campus hosted a health expo the day before Valentine's Day. The Love Your Body event drew health and fitness organizations from around the tri-state with a focus on heart health awareness. Visitors could stop by informational booths in the Rife Rotunda as well as partake in health screenings. The event sought to encourage holistic health and wellness practices to improve the mind, body, and spirit of the community.
Find more events like this on our Facebook page. For OUS Update, I'm Brian McGlone.
As I mentioned in the open, we have a special guest with us today. We're going to be talking about the Community Action Organization. We have with us Mr. Michael Kingery. Michael?
Don, thanks for having me.
Well, I appreciate you being with us. The Community Action Organization has been a part of Lawrence County for years, and they do a great work in the community. So we want to talk about that today. We want to talk a little bit about your health clinics that you have around the county. But before we do that, let's find out a little bit about you.
Okay. Well, Don, I've grown up in this area my entire life. I was originally from the Sims Valley area, a little place called Willowwood, where honestly the post office is about the only thing in that area. And so I've loved this community, and I've always wanted to give back to it as much as I can. So I've tried to do that my entire life. I'm a music minister at First Baptist Church in Ironton, but 2 years ago I started working with Community Action as their patient navigator. And it's been one of the best decisions I've made in my entire life, because that agency really works as hard as it possibly can to help this area and to lift people up. And that's so important.
Yes, it is. Now, you have a background in the medical field because,
Yes, I do.
and you have a degree from a certain institution.
Yes, I've actually got a connection here to Ohio University Southern. I am a graduate from here through their Bachelor's of Nursing program. And, you know, this area needs this college because it helps raise people up, and I know I've benefited from it. My sister's actually a student here right now going through the teacher's program. So it's been a great benefit having a great community college here right in this area.
Let's transition back to the Community Action Organization. Tell us a little bit about the organization and what they do.
So the Community Action Organization is something that a lot of people don't realize has helped them. And honestly, you can go to just about anyone in this county and you can start mentioning some of the programs that the Community Action runs, and they actually realize, I do know what the Community Action is, but when you first say, do you know what the ILCAO is, they'll be a little bit confused. But what the Community Action is it's an umbrella organization, and our vision for this area is to be the role model community agency for positively impacting people's lives. And that's what we're wanting to do, and we will do that in any way that we possibly can. And so some of the programs that we run is we have Head Start. A lot of the local Head Starts is ran by the Community Action. We have housing. Here recently, a housing unit went up into Proctorville called Proctor's Landing for elderly people, and it's been extremely well received. We also do HEAP, which is for heating, and we do Jobs and Family Services. We've got a one-stop clinic right down here in Ironton. And the area that I'm most involved with is the medical centers. And I've been involved with them, like I said, for 2 years, and it's been a great ride so far.
Well, just from where I've had interactions with the Community Action Organization over the years, they partner with so many different institutions in the area where they collaborate together and work on grants to bring funding in to help people here in Lawrence County. And I know that's very much appreciated.
Yes, I know we've worked with Ohio University, we've worked with the Chamber of Commerce, we've worked with the Point up there. We've worked with quite a few of the different local agencies to try and bring in new jobs, new programs, anything that can help this area. For instance, the St. Mary's campus down in Ironton, that was largely brought in by the Community Action Organization, and it wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for this agency.
Well, I believe y'all even have some offices there.
We do.
And have a clinic there, don't you?
We do. We operate out of the second floor of the building, and we have all kinds of different services. We have dental, we've got pediatrics, we've got behavioral health, we have family practice, and actually at that clinic, the individual that was voted the county's best pediatrician actually operates out there, Dr. Brislin. So we're extremely proud of that building and all of the people that's involved in making it operate and run. We have some of the best physicians, best providers, and the best staff.
Just how far is your reach?
So we have 6 clinics currently, and we range from, we've got one in South Point, we've got one in Proctorville, we've got one at Chesapeake, we've got 2 in Ironton, one at the campus and one at the One Stop, and which is down near Wendy's. And we also have one all the way out to Aid. We wanted to ensure that we were reaching that rural area out there.
Okay. Now, you went through all the services that you're providing here at the St. Mary's building where the emergency room is, just right out 141 here from the campus. Do you offer those same services at all of your clinics, or what all do you have available for the residents?
At most of the clinics, we do offer a lot of those services. For instance, at our Proctorville clinic, we just recently reopened up our dental side. And so we're now providing dental care for that side of the county, which is fantastic because it was such a needed service that was being missed. And so a lot of our clinics do have behavioral health. They've got family practice in it. And we do provide a lot of those services. So for instance, down at the One Stop Clinic, we are just now starting an OBGYN clinic for this area, which that's also extremely needed. And we're really excited about that. We're actually partnering with St. Mary's on it and bringing in a nurse midwife to come in once a week and see patients.
Okay, we're going to be taking a break here in a few minutes, and when we come back, we want to talk more about the agency and about the specialized services you offer, and try to inform the community a little bit more, and then we'll give you an opportunity to give them a way that they can contact you as well to find out more. Okay?
Thank you so much, Don.
Okay, we're going to be right back after this.
National Prevention Week is a celebration of all the things that happen all year long.
Prevention is at the core. It's mental health, physical health.
Some of our National Prevention Week activities have been focusing on the illegal drugs, illegal use of opioids.
Drugs, alcohol, mental health, suicide,
Underage drinking, tobacco use.
prevention is about saving lives.
This is where it happens.
This is Prevention at Work.
Being empowered starts with getting informed, looking closer. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime, but many of us don't know there are different types of breast cancer with different characteristics. That was me. Learning about the specifics of my diagnosis gave me the confidence to make informed treatment decisions with my doctor. This meant everything to me and my family. So take another look. Ask another question. Learn more at notonetype.org.
Someday starts today at Ohio University Southern. With more than 30 affordable 2- and 4-year degree programs in in-demand careers, you'll learn skills employers want right here in the Tri-State and beyond. With traditional classroom instruction in Ironton and Proctorville, online and blended learning, Ohio University Southern meets the needs of working adults and traditional students with affordable, accessible, high-quality education. Ohio University Southern.
Welcome back again to Horizons. I'm your host, Don Moore. Today we've been talking about the Community Action Organization. We have with us Michael Kingery. He's with the Community Action Organization. And Michael, throughout the first segment, we talked about all the different facilities that you have around Lawrence County area. But there's a new program that you have that's school-based. Why don't you share a little bit about what that program's about?
So, as the Community Action Organization, we are all extremely excited about this opportunity. School-based health centers is something that's relatively new in the country. They've been pushing it for a couple years now, but it's just now starting to catch some wind. And there's no school-based health centers in all of Lawrence County. So we're going to be the first ones to put a clinic in a school. And so we're partnering with Rock Hill School District to get a school-based health center specifically for them. And it's so exciting because it's going to do so many great things for that community. It's going to cut down on children's absenteeism. Them having to leave school early to go to a doctor's appointment. We're all extremely excited about it.
So what type of services will they be able to get there?
There will be family practice, there's going to be behavioral health, there's potentially some dental services that's going to be going in there. So it's going to be a great thing for that community.
Now, will that be open to every child? And, anytime you go to the doctor, there's going to be a bill.
Yeah.
So what's going to cover that funding or
Well, it is open to all the children of the school, and it's actually going to be opened up to the community as well. So they're going to be able to utilize it. There's actually going to be 2 separate entrances, and it's going to be a great thing. But we're going to be treating it very similarly to our other centers, where we work with the parents' insurances and things like that. And as a family medical center and a community health center, we ensure that no one is denied care based on their inability to pay. So we're going to be bringing that to the school-based health centers as well.
Okay, so if a child does come to school then and they're not feeling well, then a teacher could just send them across as long as they've got the parents' permission, or the parents can come and grab them and take them over, or how does that work?
So one big misconception that people have about school-based health centers is that we're taking over the nurse's job.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
That's not that's not the case at all, Don. So what ends up happening, the school nurse becomes a very important member of the team.
Oh, I see.
And so what will end up happening out at Rock Hill is these school nurses almost act as gatekeepers. So what normally happens in schools is a kid starts feeling ill during the day, and they'll go to the school nurse. The school nurse will determine, is this child well enough to stay at school for the rest of the day, or do they need to go home? If that child needs to go home, they probably need to see a doctor as well. And so this alleviates some of the burden on the parents, because they can then be sent to the school-based health center, and when the parents coming to pick them up, they can already have been seen and been diagnosed for what's wrong with them. And we are able to do that by having all the parents sign permission slips that allow those services. And then the parents will be called before any sort of care is done for the students as well.
When you started preparing to put this together, what was the reaction of the school system?
The school system has been behind it 110%. They have really been one of the key people who's pushing it. And we couldn't ask for a better school to partner with. They've been absolutely fantastic. They are open to so many different ideas, and they bring so many ideas to the table as well. So we're both, the Family Medical Centers and Rock Hill, we're just absolutely ecstatic about this coming in the near future. And hopefully we're wanting to see students be seen by the beginning of next school year.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us, this is Horizons. Our special guest today is Michael Kingery. He's with the Community Action Organization here in Lawrence County. And we've been talking about school-based health and a new clinic they're putting in. Is there plans for future growth of this into other districts?
There is always potential for growth of this at other districts, and the thing is with our setup, how we are structured around the county with all of our different sites, we're actually very close to a lot of the other school districts. For instance, at Ade, we're less than a mile from Sims Valley. At Fairland, we're right across the street from Fairland East Elementary School. So we're very close to all these other schools as is. And that's one of the big differences between all the other schools and Rock Hill. Rock Hill's out 93. Most of the people are a 15 to 20 minute drive from Ironton. And so being able to get to the doctor on a regular basis could be difficult for them. So we're wanting to expand our services to open up that access.
Yeah, that's so true. And people don't realize this, but with the National Forest and things that we have here in Lawrence County, Lawrence County is a lot of square miles.
Yes.
It's a lot of area to cover, and I think it's pretty neat that you all are all the way out to Aid and places like that, because of how large the county is. So, all right, let's move on. One of the questions that came to mind while you were talking about that and about the different children and everything, with all these clinics you have around Lawrence County, is it only for those that maybe don't have health care, or are your clinics open to everyone?
That's a very good question, Don, and that honestly gets asked.
That's why I'm hosting.
There you go. I don't think I could come up with as good of questions as that, but I'll be honest, that gets asked more often than just about any question out there. People think that we are only there to service low-income people, and that's just not the case. Like I said about our vision, we are there for all of Lawrence County, and we want to provide those services, especially in the medical centers, for everyone in Lawrence County. So it doesn't matter how wealthy you are, how poor you are, where you come from, your background, we can take care of you at the family medical centers. Our logo it literally says, just like family, we'll take care of you. And we live by that. So,
well, I know. I thought at one time I was going to be losing my family physician. He actually just transferred or just moved from King's Daughters over to Bellefonte. But I thought I was going to have to look for a new family physician. And I had several people say, hey, you need to really see this person out at the CAO clinic, because they are really, really good. They're on top of things. And so that was one of my first things. I thought, oh, so that is available to everybody. How about people from Kentucky coming across the river? Because now we're minus another hospital in the area.
And that you said we're minus another hospital in the area. That is such a big hit for this area. I mean, I heard over 1,000 jobs were lost, and so we just need to really keep our thoughts and prayers for all of those people that's dealing with that right now. But we do service people from Kentucky. We have quite a few patients who drive across the river and see our providers because their quality is just so good. And we have some of the best providers in the county, in the tri-state, beyond that. And that's just one of the great things that make the family medical centers great, and the community action organization such an important part of this area.
We've been talking a lot about the health centers and everything. Is there anything new on the horizon for the CAO? Is there any other projects that you're allowed to mention?
Well, there's always something coming up. When you work with such excited people, such as D.R. Gossett or Gary Roberts, who is our director of the family medical centers, there's always something new coming on the horizon. And that's the great thing about it, is you've always got people who's willing to try something new and always willing to put themselves out there to help everyone.
Real quick, tell people how they can get in touch with you.
Okay, so with the family medical centers, we actually have a website.
Okay.
And it's familymedicalcenters.org. And you can find any one of our clinics' numbers right there. And I urge anyone out there who is looking for a new primary care provider, if you are wondering about getting some sort of service, whether it's dental or behavioral health, please reach out to us, because we would absolutely love to take care of you, and we have the capacity to do that. And most of the time you'll be working with people you know, and that helps ease that concern when going to the doctor. And like you said, you've got your tie on for Heart Month. It might be a good time to schedule an appointment and see about ensuring that ticker's working for a long time.
I just had my EKG done. I
There you go.
just had my stress test done, and nobody called me back to say I was dead. So I think I'm doing pretty good right now.
I can vouch for you right here. You're not dead.
Oh, good.
So
I appreciate that.
let's just keep that rolling for a long time, Don.
Thanks for being with us. That'll be it for Horizons. We'll see you the same time next week.